Hey guys, it is Friday. I just got home from work and fired up my candle there. It is another hot and steamy Friday. But sunscreen update for you guys. So as you know, the past few days I've been trying out the Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence. I've been using this for about a week now, and I went into using this solely as a consumer from the get-go. I didn't really look at the ingredients list. I'm kind of blinding myself when I try these and then really analyzing the ingredient list after some consistent use. And as a consumer, I really liked this. I thought it went on really well. I didn't find it drying. I found it easy to apply. As I mentioned in earlier videos, it, however, there's not a whole lot in this tube. And so I don't think it is gonna last me very long. I'm plugging my way through it pretty quickly. And then today I tried out the Nivea Sun Protect Water Gel Super SPF 53 Plus, just as a comparator. And in my consumer impression, they are essentially identical in terms of their cosmetic appeal, and the same things hold true. Now, I took it upon myself after giving both of them just a consumer usage of them. Now time to analyze their ingredients. And they both have some shortcomings that I will mention. So the Biore UV Aqua Rich is great. However, it does contain fragrance. So I think this would be really, really problematic for people with rosacea or really sensitive skin. It does have a variety of nice emollients in it. However, it's not like pore clogging, as I'm sure would be of concern. And so I think if you've got oily skin, shiny skin, or dry skin, this would be fine for you. But do bear in mind, this Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence has fragrance in it. And I'm getting this information from the website COSDNA or COSDNA, and as far as my translation of the ingredient list, I have no idea how that is reviewed or peer reviewed, if at all. I imagine a lot of it is consumer driven, so there could be errors in the things that I'm saying. That's really where I'm getting my translation of this. It could be completely, I just don't know how trustworthy that site is, but you all have referred me to it, and that's kind of what I'm using to at least translate the ingredients, and I know what the ingredients are. Okay, and then the Nivea Sun Protect Water Gel, like I said, as a consumer, these are essentially identical. I like that this one is in this cool pump, and it's got this little plastic doohickey on it that you can pop off and on. So, you could take this in your bag and not worry about it squeezing all over the place. I think that's brilliant packaging right there. I like this. I thought it went on essentially identically. And in analyzing the ingredient list of this, it has it does not have fragrance in it. However, it contains like a bunch of flower extracts, like not chrysanthemum, but geranium. I mean, like you don't want to be putting flowers on your face. Like that is just a bad idea. So I'm kind of annoyed that both of these have those in them, because like I said, if you've got rosacea prone skin, sensitive skin, or allergies, I think these could be really problematic in that regard. They are hydrating, so good for dry skin. I think cosmetically they blend in well. I think for darker skin types they blend in well. But guys, both of these are chemical sunscreens. The filters may be a little bit better than what we have here in the US in terms of filtering different wavelengths of UV light, and both of them essentially are broad spectrum, okay? They both cover UVB and UVA, but they're not water resistant. You still need to be reapplying them every 2 hours. They still need to form an adequate film, so there's that. They also do contain a fair amount of alcohol in them. I suppose, I imagine that is in there for, I don't detect it, so I imagine that is listed as an ingredient in terms of stabilizing these chemical filters. It is necessary for the filters to be stable and functional. But some of you mentioned that if there's too much alcohol in something, then it really really flares your rosacea or you have a problem with it. So these may not be a good choice for you in that regard, but I like them and I don't seem irritated by the flower extract or the fragrance in them. So I'm happy to continue reusing them. And if you're totally confused, if you're new here and you're like, what is she talking about with filters and etc., make sure you check out my sunscreen Q&A. I have a 3-part sunscreen Q&A where I go over kind of the differences and, you know, so make sure you check those out. And we'll go over it more in detail there. But yeah, I just sipping on a little happy hour rosehip tea and Babita. Still need a name for her. But speaking of global sunscreens, exciting news, guys. Check it out. Look what came in my P.O. box from a good friend of mine across the pond down under. From the land down under. Guys, we've been trying out Japanese and Korean. Now we have Australian sunscreen, like legitimate Australian sunscreen. Here in the US, we're always like, all these companies call themselves Australian and they're really not. They're just pretending to be as cool as the Aussies. So now we have Clear Zinc. This is SPF 50 plus, very high protection sunscreen. Yeah, I bet. It's got zinc oxide in it and some a couple chemical filters in it, and no fragrance. So I'm excited to try this out. I suspect this may be good on the body. That may be how I try it out first. I have potentially some things later on in a few weeks where I'm going to be outdoors, I think, and not wanting to wear as much physical sun protection as in long clothing because it is hot as stink. So I will be really trying to aggressively sun protect, and I think this guy will be a good one. So thanks to my friend, if you're watching this, for sending me this. I am stoked as smoke to try out Clear Zinc. But anyways, guys, I just whipped up a Crockpot meal, the exact same thing that I made last night. And don't worry, I filmed the recipe for you, so I will insert that footage here while I head to the gym, and I'll check in with you guys later. Today. This is, shout out to you guys for recommending this. I got this from Daiso, which is the Japanese dollar store. I had to get it on Amazon because we don't have Daiso here, but this is a silicone mask to go over your sheet mask. It was only a couple of bucks, really inexpensive, and I'm jazzed as a trombone about this because You know, if you caught my hand care routine, I mentioned in there that a real cornerstone of eczema therapy is something called wet wraps, okay? And that's why I'm such a fan of these Momotani hydrating masks. On top of a wet face with a humectant on it, because they occlude transepidermal water loss for a little while and let you kind of hang out there and the skin repair itself. And you guys had given a mention to these as a way to, you know, get some use out of my Sweet Little Clean Puffs by Cotton Labo. And so I tried it out tonight by soaking the pads in some of the Hada Labo hyaluronic acid milky lotion, which is sort of a watery version. I think I'm saying the name of the product wrong, actually. And it doesn't say what it is on the label here. But this is sort of a watery version of the Super Plumping Gel Cream. I hadn't reviewed the ingredients recently, so I have to refresh my memory bank on this. But it's fairly benign as far as it doesn't have any fragrance in it. So yeah, so I've got some of the cotton pads under my eyes just soaking here, and one here kind of smished on the side, and then I've got one of my Jazzy Momotani masks on over this. So be prepared for me to look dewy after this. I feel like I'm ready to go to a hockey game or something, or like defend a goal. This is so bizarre. I love it. I love it. I love this thing. This is awesome. I really thank you guys for cluing me into this. I think I'm going to come in tonight as a sealant with, again, the Dr. Jarts, even though I said I was done with him on my face, the Sarah Meaden cream. I tried him again last night and it wasn't too bad. I seem to tolerate it all right, so I'm going to continue to use it. But I did investigate the ingredients on this a little bit more, and it doesn't have frank fragrance in it, but it does have those fruit extracts in it. And it also has lactic acid in it, which is, you know, an alpha hydroxy acid that they're like not all that they're cracked up to be, but they can kind of soften the skin if present in a low amount. So I don't detect it being irritating, but if you're somebody with rosacea, stay away from this. If you're somebody with sensitive skin or eczema prone skin, stay away from this. It's got, you know, these flower extracts that can be problematic. And then in looking at this liquid, the liquid has ficus extract. Ficus is like this plant that can cause, you know, rashes if you come in contact with it. I don't know why we need ficus extract in a liquid skin saver. I mean, that seems like the opposite. So, while Dr. Jart doesn't have fragrance, these are actually kind of nice. I'm not knocking them if you like them. He does have some potential offenders in there. So, you know, it seems like the more expensive and high-end you get, the more flowery crap they put in it to actually irritate the heck out of you. So, anyways, I've had this on, and I'm having trouble breathing with it. I think it's occluding my mouth a little bit. So, but yeah, you know, and so now I'm just coming in with the Super Plumping Gel Cream. This is all way too superfluous, though, in my opinion, for just routine skincare. I mean, minimalists out there, such as myself, you don't need all this stuff. Fun to do a few nights a week. If you're battling dry skin, the silicone sheet, you know, over a moisturizing layer makes sense to kind of seal it in. But make sure the moisturizer and these sheet masks that you're using don't have a ton of flower extracts or, you know, fruit extracts or fragrance, things that are gonna complicate your life. So yeah, fun Friday night for me. I've got my vegan curry cooking down that I made, and you guys hopefully enjoyed the footage of that. Fun fact, you know, pureeing riced cauliflower, that's just a cup of the riced cauliflower, has, you know, kind of is a nice substitute for creamy kind of soups. It recapitulates it nicely with just a teaspoon of that powdered coconut powder that I get on Vitacost that I showed. And yeah, just let that slow cook with all that curry powder and ginger and the onion and the garlic. It really makes a nice broth. And then the zucchini cooks down, and then you add your bean of choice. I'm really into my legumes these days, but what I added was the was just half a serving of dark red kidney beans and half a serving of those peruano beans, because that's just that I had made the other day, and just toss those in there. But you could use probably any bean or lentil, or you know, if you wanted to, you could add meat. There's no reason to make it completely vegan if you're not vegan, or tofu, whatever you're into. So I hope you enjoyed it. But anyways, guys, I'm going to conclude the vlog here. Go crack into a cavita because it's Friday night. I hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.